Greetings, people of all languages and nations. I want to bring to you today more concerning Millan, the alien entity. As I had a vision, been talking about Millan constantly over and over again, I had a vision concerning the heavenly heights, the the kingdom of God. I seen a bunch of white things come out from the heavenly highways, just like you would see something coming out from dressers and roaming around dressers and drawers and stuff like that, roaming around cabinets and the tables and stuff in the house. I would see these white gnat like things, just a whole lot of them coming, flourishing throughout the galaxies like space. It was concerning among the stars, and they were numerous. And I saw all these gnats, but these gnats were not actually gnats. These bugs was milling. And the truth was telling me like this. He says, say that about Millan, which he is as white as snow. He is white as snow. And he is white like the polar ice caps of the highest peaks are icy white, snowy white, so white. And he has huge shiny black eyes, like huge round cow eyes. And Millan is a monster. I know I said this in the earlier videos concerning Millan, but I was told that more about Millan, his actions against humanity, what he plans on doing, and he can't be stopped no matter what man thinks that he can be rebuked or overcame, but Millan cannot be overcome by anything. His forces are great. You say Millan is a monster that lives on the highways of heaven, and Millan serves no God but himself. He worships himself. He enacts his actions are very cruel and petty. He knoweth God, but he serve himself. He rebuke God more than he should acknowledge God. He thinks that there is no such thing, power greater than his. But he is afraid when Jardel pops up in his area because he know that Jardel can destroy him. So we look again at the incident Millen, when they group into forces, they can take over whatever they seek and destroy whatever they want. As long as Jardel is not around, they manipulate others to do their bidding when they're allies with them. And I'm not talking about humans. Allies, they're allies with alien entities, not humans. And we speak out about when he had created cloning. Back in the day, cloning was white and had big blue eyes. Millen realized that because he was white and had big blue eyes, that he would have to devour him. So he decided to take those of cloning, which he had crossbreeded with him, his own seed, and some of man, and decided to devour them to use them as food. You see how cruel Millen is. He is a dreadful entity. So this is how Millen feel like he can do anything, whatever he chooses. So remember, no matter what you believe, that Millen is a monster. His love is to destroy and to overcome. he had been coming back and forth to the earth, constantly stealing people. And when he look and he watches man technology, his main purpose is to try to develop things that are more powerful than humans' technology, that he can find a way to overcome it. If he sees nuclear bombs or wars going on in certain areas, Millan go into those areas and they look at what's going on, how things are being blown up, and their technology is more making their technology more advanced than humanity because this is how they want to be. They want to be a lot stronger. They can kind of act against anything that's more powerful than them. They want to be able to destroy humanity's technology. If humanity, since try to fight them, they want to be able to block, block, block it off. Make sure that they can't harm them in any way, any form, fashion, or way. As long as Milton has his powerful shields, and you can't shoot down his crafts. He know how to zip out and zip in. He know how to shield his crafts. If you shoot a nuclear warhead at him, at one of his crafts, he can capture that nuclear warhead with something like a tractor beam and hold it, and then push it right back down to the earth up on mankind. See how clever he is. He's a very sharp entity. Man can't fight against Millen even if he tried. We know in the fact that Millen is too powerful. That you wage war against something that evil, that forceful, you cannot defeat it. So the best thing for you to do is ask God for deliverance. You need to fast, weep, and cry to God Most High for deliverance. We look again at the fact that He has allies on the highways of heaven. On in space, He have allies, and Jor-El know it, his allies as well. So it's plain to see that no one can outwit him. But if supposing he decide to bring some of his allies to earth as he once did one time before when he found Garland himself and let Garland come up on the earth still. And just think, what can you do if you're unprepared and you believe these angels, the sinners telling you, well, they're not really monsters. They're just, you know, they could be allies. They can be our friends and all this. But don't believe those people because they're lying to you. Those people there are waiting to be devoured by these monsters. Again, Millen is not your friend. He cannot be trusted. He is not your ally. You can't call yourself creating a treaty with something that is hungry for your flesh, that wants to suck your blood. You cannot do such a thing. When he created Kilimanjaro, he made Kilimanjaro with wings that he could fly around. He also took uh, um, a cat, a tiger from the earth, and combined his seed with his DNA with a human, a young black man, a young black boy that he kidnapped during the times in the early 40s that was walking home. He did this, and when he did this, he made a tiger people called Celebra. On every one of his planet ships are Celebra, a slave. There's Celebra as a slave. Celebra is the only one that he allows to pilot his planet ships because Celebra can't do anything. He has the power to mess with Celebra mind. He has authority over every thought he has. If Celebra even looks at him, he thinks that something is wrong. He will correct him. Also, just as he shocked Kilimanjaro, the females of Celebra can't be with the males of Celebra. They keep them in state so that they can't do anything. they make sure, because if they did, they would start to fight against Millan. You see, sin makes the mind see differently. The more mankind sin, the more and more people that once they start sinning, Satan gets into the mind and start making people act out against one another. He corrupts the mind easily with sin. This is why he can also go amongst Millan as well, like he doing mankind, and will cause problems up on that planet ship. And Millan don't want that. Millan have other slaves as well. He have thousands and thousands of slaves that he use to do his work above his planet ships, his crafts. Understand, this is the work of how these straight angel descendants are. Millan himself is a straight angel because there was a bug creature in the way Millan had went astray. He was supposed to be kept in state that he may rise up to be an angel. He may serve God in obedience, yet he broke free. He broke free, overthrew, killed, and Jardel defenses at that time because he was very successful at manipulation, and they was very kindly allowing him with their righteousness, allowing him to become stronger and stronger. He was able to manipulate them, and he broke free from them. At that time, Alfred was called, but Alfred fled. He didn't go to help. If Alfred would have helped, then they could have brought Millan down and kept him down at that time. But now, Kill is more powerful. Kill is more powerful than ever before because the remnant of Alfred, some of them are still with Kill on the planet Yorwin, which is why Millan is terrified. He tries to block the pathway to Yorwin, to the planet Yorwin. He tries to block the pathway. Again, I was told all this by the Spirit of Truth, who told me that in lack for the truth, I am in the first immortal of these times, which I was concerned about. But then I remember back in many years when I was shown concerning Alpharia. Alpharia is immortal because Alpharia never dies. If the body is destroyed, they can find another body. They ask God to allow them to enter another host. The spirit never dies. So, but I remember one time I was being friend with somebody, and this young uh, blonde-headed chick came from this college and tried to go with me as I had been working at this country bar. And when she was my friend, a bunch of rednecks found out and they said got on her about being associated with a black man at that time. They was racist. They wanted to destroy me, and they came up thinking that they could do anything. They would constantly come back and forth and try to spy and see who I was because I was a black man. I heard one of them speaking. But it's the nigger, we could easily get rid of him. Nobody even know it. But they didn't know who I really was. I wasn't involved with the young lady, but I was faithful to God, and I kept praising God, and I kept fasting and stuff. Then I saw an angel remove my enemy from me. God put an end to those guys trying to harm me. things that happened to them. One had a wreck, and something else happened to the other one. I remember I found out that these guys were absent, and there was talk about somebody getting killed. Some bad things happened to these guys that kept trying to fool with me, and the angel of the Lord had removed my burdens from me at that time, my troubles from me. He put a stop to them trying to harm me, which is why the Spirit of Truth continued to tell me, do not be afraid of these people, for if anybody try to harm you, they will be destroyed. So this is why I'm not afraid at all. I have seen again Millan, how Emperor Duplex was so terrified of me. He would peek through a time portal at me and then hide his face. He had to peek twice, had to take a second stare. He claimed he saw the Son of God and he was terrified. So again, I'm not afraid of these things. If Milton not afraid of me, then man should be too, because God has protected me. I told you who I was. You don't believe, then so be it. I won't give up serving the Lord God Almighty, my Father. He is my deliverer, and I have faith in Him. I believe in Him with all my heart. And I want you to understand, you need to start to learn fasting and weeping and stop listening to the devil telling you lies. Stop being up there saying, well, I got a whole lot of money and power. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. I'm rich and all this. A war is coming. A spiritual war is coming. One in which you can't fight against, which can destroy your body. So you better start learning to fast and weep and cry to God for deliverance. This is a short video, but I want to thank you for hearing me. And God bless. Stay strong and keep the faith.